Hot Mike's Hot Show. Live from New York. It's the show that is handing out a report card for the Dallas Cowboys in approximately 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
No chance.
It's first things first. Today.
Okay, Brew, what grade do the Cowboys deserve for this most recent performance?
Well, look, I'll give my grade in a few minutes, but I do have to say something because you guys know I take this seriously.
100%.
I pride myself in digging beneath the surface, in seeing things that others don't see, so I can give the appropriate grade. Okay, I really take this seriously. And I got to admit, I'm embarrassed. And I'm a bit ashamed of myself because here I am, the professor.
Yeah.
Here I am, the guy with the big red marker. Yeah. Here I am, the guy that famously called the Cowboys' opponents tomato cans.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy, in case you needed it.
And I missed it.
Oh.
I missed it. All right, it was right in front of my face. I knew that they struggled on the road. I knew they lost to 3-win Arizona on the road. I knew they got clobbered in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I knew they were a 500 team the past 2 years on the road.
Yeah, but don't beat
But
yourself
it did
up.
not dawn on me until yesterday. I'm sitting there watching the game in Buffalo, and the light bulb finally clicked.
What was it?
On the road.
Oh, don't do it.
The Dallas Cowboys are tomato cans.
I see it. No.
On the road, they are not at home.
No.
Oh, they're bad. They muscle up at home.
That's true.
But on the road, it could be anywhere. Buffalo, Arizona, Philadelphia, where they comedically in the game. They are some tomato cans. Look at this graphic. Certifiable tomato can Atlanta. And look at Dallas's numbers on the road. Win percentage, same. Point differential, I think a little worse. Yards per game, worse. And Dak Prescott, former MVP candidate at this point, is Desmond Ridder on the road. Okay? Not winning many games this way. And let me get one more graphic to drill it home before the grade comes.
Before the grade.
Take away the Giants on, what was that, the first game, and Carolina, worst team in football, and look at the Cowboys on the road. 1-4, they average 15 points a game, give up basically 30. I mean, I'm sorry, this is accurate. They are tomato cans on the road.
Okay.
So, that being said, there is only one grade that any self-respecting professor could give the Cowboys. And this one's a whopper, gentlemen.
Okay.
So clear. Watch out. Watch your head, Wildes. Move the coffee. It is an F. One big, gigantic F.
What's an F?
For the Cowboys.
All right. Well done,
Absolutely.
Chris Broussard. And what is so vexing
It pains me to do that. But
and I would imagine a little vexing to you as well because listen, I thought the Cowboys could win convincingly. I think. You thought they'd win. What's so odd about the Cowboys, and it's really why this grade bit has worked so well, is they've played 14 games this year. I would argue they have 13 A's or F's. They have one. I know that's not the only mediocre game they've played is the Charger game. When before the Chargers were dealing with all the injuries, they beat them by 3 points, and it was like, okay, fine. It was on the road, but it's kind of a home game because it's Los Angeles. Every other game, they've either looked outstanding or terrible. I guess you could argue the road game at Philly would be the other possible exception. But what is so disappointing if you're a Cowboys fan, or someone like me who picked the Cowboys, is they were seemingly as caught off guard as I was. And I would, as far as what the Bills were going to do, and I'm not trying to let myself off the hook, but I'm, looking at the whole league, thinking about all the games. The Cowboys coaching staff had one job all week and then one job during the week. And the fact that they had no idea Buffalo might just try to run at them, and then once it was clear that Buffalo was just going to run at them, they had no answer for it. They had no possible counterpunch at any point in that football game for what Buffalo was trying to do. And there are I don't want to overreact to this moment because, as Brew has said, it's not college football. The Cowboys had, in my opinion, played 2 straight months of A-game football.
I mean,
and so
a lot of it was at home, though. That's
why this, Wildes, if I may just quickly, that's why this is so damaging, is now the 1 seed dreams are basically dead. The 2 seed and winning the division, it's not fully dead, but it's going to take a full-on Eagles collapse. So that part really does hurt their chances of going on a long playoff run. You remove the seeding part from it, and you talk about how good is this team really. I do look at next week in Miami as a fork in the road moment for them, because Miami is a legitimate team for all the breakdancing stuff.
They look good Sunday.
We're this deep into the season. You got 9-10 wins. You're a good to very good team. If they go to Miami and answer some of these questions, play well and rebound, then I think, even though the damage will have been done from a seeding perspective, I think they can find their footing. If they go into Miami, Wildes, and lose, then you know what people are going to start wondering? Man, that first playoff game, they're going to be on the road. Who cares that it's against an NFC South team? Like, if they are...
That's the saving grace for them.
We haven't talked about Bake Show yet because he is cooking. Right. But so I do think next week they can steady themselves, and I think they will.
Why?
Because I think they're a really good team.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is, if Miami's like, we're going to run on you. Arizona put up 222 on the ground. 49ers put up 170. The Eagles, the one that they lost, 109, but that's not that bad. Bills put up 266. Miami averages 140, 4th best rushing attack in the league. Why doesn't Mike McDaniel say, we're going to try to run on you all day, too? That seems to work. It worked for Arizona. It works for the 49ers. Worked for the Bills.
And it'll be there because you have to respect Tyreek and Jalen.
So I think that those numbers are accurate, but I think a little misleading in this regard. That assumes the only teams who have tried to run on Dallas are those teams.
Fair.
And so, yes, when they have lost, it has been because they haven't been able to stop the run. That does not mean at no point over the course of the season have they been able to stop the run.
Yeah,
I would argue Philadelphia tries to lead with the run, and Dallas annihilated them in one game. And in the other game, I didn't think Philly looked exceptional. And so, I don't think Dallas is a wildly flawed, fraudulent team. And I think some people are going to make that assessment today. And I don't think Dak should be eliminated from the MVP discussion.
Oh, what?
It depends on what others do going forward.
No, it doesn't.
This hurts.
It's done. He's now 5th in yards, 3rd in completion percentage. He lost the passing touchdowns lead to Brock.
Yeah.
He's got the same interceptions as Brock, and he's 3rd in passer rating.
Yeah, but the season's not over.
He's got a big F on the table.
Would you agree though? He doesn't control his destiny anymore.
That's right.
Right? Like he could play great, but if Brock Purdy or Lamar does as well...
No,
he's not going to win.
I think that Dak, fair or not, from a projection standpoint, needs at least Brock and maybe Brock and Lamar to trip up. But I do not think that the fact that Dak's worst game of the year came in Week 15 and Brock's came 8 weeks ago should be disqualifying. I don't think it should be disqualifying. I know for some it will be. And I saw Mahomes once lose an MVP. I thought he should have won because Rodgers got hot at the end of the season and Mahomes was kind of coasting. So I do know we overemphasize the end of season when it comes to MVP, but I don't think this should be.
I think it's more big games. San Francisco didn't play well. Buffalo don't play well.
But the home game against Philly was as big as it gets, and he played great.
Yeah, he had MVP for about 6 days.
Yeah, and right now he doesn't. My point is, I don't think. I know you put up that Twitter poll. I don't think it should disqualify.
But I think if it's Baltimore or San Francisco next week, it's going to be whoever quarterback looks good against 2
It's going to be the big favorite, but then there's still 2 weeks left in the year.
Yeah,
still
this
2 meaningful weeks left.
This is going to go down to the wire.
Yes.
I'm going to cast my vote early.
Okay, that's why you don't have one.
But still, I will. The other side of the ball, Nick, you kicked around the idea of Dallas winning by double digits or 2 scores. Do you want to apologize to several people? It could be Josh Allen, could be Bills Mafia, could be the coaching staff. You can.
No, well, listen, I got the analysis of the game wrong, but I don't owe anyone an apology. But first of all, I want to pick up Josh for a moment. I think Josh is selling his performance short. I thought Josh got the game started for the Buffalo Bills. They were going to have to settle for 3 points, and he made his most impactful play of the game. We can show it to you. This acting job that he's the best in the league at.
Oh, my God.
This turned.
Please do not make us start running Travis Kelce flopping videos.
Go ahead. Here's what I guarantee you. There's not a highlight reel of it. Listen, the NFL might end up having to institute an NBA-esque anti-flopping rule because of Josh Allen and such, but it doesn't matter. You do what you need to do to get the win. That's what do you mean? He's pointing his face mask and he doesn't even get touched in the face. But it doesn't matter. Here's the thing for Buffalo. They are a dangerous team. They are going to end up being one of the most dangerous teams ever to miss the postseason. Oh. And I still don't think people have fully wrapped their mind around the fact of the matter is their cleanest path is almost assuredly winning the division. If they finish and if they win out, they will be in the playoffs. They are
Chargers and the Patriots.
Well, they lost to the Patriots already once this year,
I know
right?
you love the Patriots.
And would it shock anybody if the Bills look amazing? They're like 14-point favorites against the Chargers. They should dominate that game and beat the Patriots, and everyone's talking about how dangerous they are, and then they fall on their face against Miami. Wouldn't shock me. I do think that the Bills showed in this game, if I were a Bills fan, this game would have been painful because you saw the fully realized version of what your team could be. Despite the injuries, Brew, defensively dominant, you were able to be a smash-mouth team knowing you've got a superhero at quarterback if he needs to activate. I still don't believe in the Bills as a forget a Super Bowl team. I don't think they're going to make the postseason, because I don't think they have the consistency level of it. But they played great on both sides of the ball yesterday. I did not see that coming. So in that regard, sure, I was wrong, but it doesn't change my overarching opinion of them.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Nick. All right, I picked Dallas to win the game. I thought it would be close. I didn't think it would be a blowout. But like I said all last week, this is the ultimate I'll believe it when I see it team. I mean, look, the Chargers, I think they'll beat the Chargers. But the Chargers, hold on, the Chargers will be fired up because they got a new coach.
That's your thing.
They're going to, I mean, we saw Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday won the game. That's true, but I'm just saying they're going to come out fired up. And the Bills, they lost to the Patriots, man. I'm sorry to put it that way, but it's true. All right? They lost to the Jets right after Aaron Rodgers gets hurt when the Jets should be the team that's deflated. So this team can be a 10 and they can be a negative 10. And so now I do think if they get in the playoffs, even if they get in the playoffs, yes, they will be dangerous. But they are the type of team that at least for me, I'm not going to believe in until their last game of the season, whether it's a loss or it's a win, because you just don't know what you're getting. I will say this. I think Joe Brady has done a very good job. Yeah. Here's some numbers. I mean, they were okay at times under Dorsey, but you see they're 3-1 since the change.
They're running the ball, which is
and they were running early in the year. Remember when they started well, they were running James Cook a lot, and now they've gotten back to that. But you see they're getting about 50 yards a game more than they were before. So, and I did like Nick, and I'm sure you did too, that Josh Allen, like a couple of times early in the game, he just threw it away. Yeah. He just threw it on the ground. Like, that's smart. That's what I want from him. Don't risk and be reckless all the time.
He played a smart game. Yeah. I poke fun at the flopping. I got no problem with what he did. But he did a lot of what I've said he needs to do, which is when your team is full control, don't make the critical mistake. And if
he'll do that, they can be dangerous if they get in the playoffs.
The defense played well, too. I know we're making this about Josh. Josh is the star. Dallas had 89 yards in the first half.
Defense played great. But Wildes, what surprises me is you're big on his, and again, the Chargers are 14-point dogs for a reason. But you are, more than anybody I know in the media, big on new coach bump and rest advantage.
Yes, that's true.
And the Chargers played Thursday and got a new coach, so that seems to me like they would be the upset alert special for you if that brand still had any value.
Right here?
Yeah.
That's does the team care? Has the team given up pulse?
Yeah.
They had.
This is the Chargers.
Well, I don't think the Chargers are going to beat the Bills, but I just don't think the Bills can overlook anybody.
They're not winning. One correction. Andy Reid mercifully took a knee when they could have easily scored another touchdown just to be nice to Belichick.
Exactly.
It's the second time that the Chiefs have been
not
like, you know
scored
what?
30.
We can score. We're choosing not to.
Yeah,
nice.
exactly right.
Nice
Which that type of measured analysis could have been useful last week when you were making a fool of yourself, Wildes. And I tried to warn you,
mean
Brew,
spitting facts?
you're not going to duck this entirely either, because what's about to happen is this side of the table is going to try to minimize what the Chiefs did offensively yesterday.
Oh my
I
God.
am predicting
I can't believe
it.
you're
We'll
doing
see.
this right now.
You haven't seen my notes.
Well, here's why I'm doing it. Because I was told going into this game that the Chiefs scoring double digits would be an accomplishment by Brew. And I was told going into this game that the Chiefs were going to lose because they were playing the best.
Promoting a fight.
No, because they were. No, I'll let the audience.
Like, tune in.
I'll let the audience determine it, because you all week long were talking about how the Chiefs' offense was broken, how they had regressed from mediocre,
Don't forget boring.
how they were boring, and how the Patriots had the best defense in football for a month. And if people weren't watching last week, I made a quick little sizzle reel of it for you so everyone can see. You asked this question. This is the moment this show jumps the shark.
21-17 Patriots. The Chiefs used to be mediocre, and now they turn it around and are bad. This is the best pizza I've ever had. And then all of a sudden, the pizza's no good, and you're like, but the garlic knots are so good. Like, stop with the garlic knots.
I'm thinking 13-3. 10-0, 10-3. I mean, this could be a low-scoring game.
Everybody knows I live in a log covered fur. Patriots straight up over Chiefs, no puns.
I would take New England with the points. So I don't know that
guys.
8.5. I don't think they cover, but I do think
Easy
the
money.
Chiefs.
A lot of times when I make these picks, people say, wow, you're such a genius. I say, I know.
21-17 Patriots.
You guys know we're on TV, right?
Again?
Okay, so listen.
We got
all year long, you two have asked for two things. Wildes has asked for, where's the fun stuff? Where's the flair?
Finally got it.
And you got a double reverse pass 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, wasn't enough for you. You got a mid-play lateral to win the game that was called off because of an offsides, but they still did it. That wasn't enough for you. Yesterday, you got a play from 1927.
Liked it.
Brew, you have been asking all year long, and I quote, for one of these guys to step up. You've said, we know you have Kelsey. Will one of them step up? Well, as I tried to a month ago, and we can show you the numbers, let me introduce you to Rashee Rice. He is, by the way, that is the best reception percentage of any rookie receiver in 31 years.
Solid.
So, how have they not, after going into New England, easily could have scored 35, answered whatever questions you guys had?
And look, I was going to give them more love, but Nick's coming on here acting like they look phenomenal.
What was a short field? Where'd that interception
This is what I have written down, because the question was, should they feel better about themselves after the win? I said better, but only slightly.
That's fair.
Better. You were coming off 2 straight losses. You got to win. You scored 27 points. Like you said, you could have scored over 30 against a good defensive team. All right? But you want to come out here and act like they look like the old Chiefs. All right? Rashee Rice is a nice player, and he's going to be really good in the future. But, Nick, he's averaging like 10 yards.
He's good, though. He's a good player.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, 10 yards a catch for a guy that's that explosive, he could be doing more. So he's nice. He's much better than the rest of that stuff they got playing receiver, but he's only averaging 10 yards a catch, and that's not that impressive. Okay? Now, what I want from them, and Kadarius Toney was doing Kadarius Toney things.
Sure.
This is what I do if I'm the Chiefs going forward, though, because they did score. I give them credit. They should actually throw the ball more. These next 3 games, feed Toney. Obviously, you want to feed Rice.
Toney?
Yes. You feed all these guys. Watson, if you're going to play Sky Moore, feed.
No,
like,
Sky
you
Moore's
got to
out.
get their confidence up.
Can I tell you what happened?
Over these next 3 games, they should be able to win no matter what. So get those guys' confidence up going into the playoffs.
Go ahead, Juan.
Evan Lazar, who does a great job writing with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Mahomes averaged 8.1 yards per attempt for 105 yards on passes behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah. You know, when Brock Purdy does that.
Oh, I know.
What is he doing?
Can we have any conversation on this show without it being polluted by the Brock Purdy discussion?
Mahomes threw for 100 yards 105 yards on passes behind the line.
Yeah, because of one screen pass.
No, several.
Yeah, no, but there was a 60-yard screen pass.
I don't think it's his fault, but he's had to dink.
But he didn't air it out down the field. He had a few good passes, but a lot of them, like, here you go,
what does that have
create a little
ahead.
wall. I'm just saying, it's not. Does it look like the old Chiefs offense lean back?
Except for the fact that Bruce showed us last year, Mahomes had the most yards after catch of any MVP in 5 years when you showed your graphic. Last year was a lot of the same stuff. But this is what I would expect by someone who, once upon a time tried to weasel their way in to Chiefs Kingdom.
I'm beloved.
What
are you talking about?
Well, I got bad news for you, Wildes.
Go ahead.
The mayor of Kansas City has something different to say. Let's hear from him, please.
Kevin Wildes, you have been excommunicated from Chiefs Kingdom.
Yeah, and you know what? Dust, give it to me, please.
Wow.
This was the final straw.
They're my second favorite
This was the final straw. You went to a Chiefs game. You repped the opposing team. You thought you were in, but you're out. Brew, you agree, right?
Wildes, I gotta be honest. He got the freaking mayor.
The mayor.
Yeah, you're done.
If I don't hear it from Stone Street, it's not official. And that's true. Coming up next, we're talking about Baltimore, we're talking about Lamar, and we're talking about the Prince.
You can come along with my team, Baltimore.
What?
We got the Ravens going to Super Bowl.
I'm not. I'm beloved in Kansas City.
You're not. You're done in Kansas City.
I'm a Ravens fan.
You're done.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.